Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, which is Certified Business Analysis Professional. My name is Varun Pawar, and today we will continue and conclude the final activity of the Babook knowledge area and from the solution evaluation knowledge area as well. So let's continue. So today we'll continue with the recommended actions to increase solution value. And so far, this is the solution evaluation knowledge area, and today we'll go through recommended action to increase solution value. Before that, you can see there are two inputs, enterprise limitation and solution limitation. These two inputs we are getting from the previous activities, which is assess solution limitation and assess enterprise limitation. And obviously, once you know about the limitation, then only you will tell about or you will recommend the actions, right? That what you can do in order to improve the performance of the solution. So and then obviously the output is the recommendations. So what is the objective? So objective is to understand the factors that create differences between the potential value and actual value. So how you are measuring that there is a difference, obviously. So whenever you have planned to create a solution, that time you might have a baseline or expected some potential value out of the solution. At the end, when the solution is finally ready and in performing stage, that time you get to know about the actual value, right? So then you are measuring the actual value against the potential value, and if you find any difference or variation, there is the scope of improvement, right? And then only you can recommend the course of action to align with. The focuses is on to understand the aggregate of the performed assessments and identifying alternatives and actions to improve solution performance and increase value realization. Recommendation generally identify how a solution should be replaced, retired, or enhanced. Right? So these are the three ways of improving the performance of a solution. Either you replace that, either you retire that, or you enhance, you add something more to that. So these are, let's talk about the inputs. The first input we have is enterprise limitation. As I said, like these are the two inputs. So it tells about the limitation of the enterprise level. Then it tells about the second one is the solution limitation. It tells about the limitation at the solution level, which is internal to the solution, and enterprise is internal to the organization or enterprise, right? We are not talking about outside of the enterprise because there we don't have a control on. The next input that acts as a guideline and tool as well is business objective. Business objectives are considered in evaluating, measuring, and determining solution performance. So business objective means the goals, right? The goals, how we are deriving the goals, then goals is related to the matrices, right? The KPIs, and the KPIs is derived from the measurements. And the measurements, what you are measuring, let's say you are measuring the potential value, right? So that's a part of the objective then. So business objectives is first guideline here. Then we have current state description. Current state description tells about the constraints, the context in which you have to complete the work, right? That is needed. So it could be possible there are different constraints. It could be a cost constraint, or resource constraints, or cultural constraints, or environmental constraints, or political constraints. So there could be a lot of constraints that you have to deal with. This means those constraints remain static, and in those constraints you have to build something, or you have to recommend something that should be valid and true. Then we have a solution scope. Solution scope tells about the solution boundaries to measure and evaluate. And finally, what we get is we get recommended actions. Recommendation, what should be done to improve the value of the solution within the enterprise, within internal to the solution or internal to the enterprise. So let's talk about the elements. So the first element is adjust solution performance measure. In some cases, the performance of the solution is considered acceptable, right? But may not support the fulfillment of business goals and objective. An analysis efforts to identify and define more appropriate measures may be required. And what could be the recommendations? Let's talk about the recommend because that's an interesting one here. So do nothing. When you can do nothing, there are chances when you can do nothing. Is the first one is when there is a risk that in order to mitigate avoid that risk, you are doing something. But whatever you are doing, that is more risky than the current situation, right? So in such scenarios, you do nothing. The next case would be like the efforts that you are putting is more than the benefit that you will realize later. So in such scenarios, it's better to recommend do nothing, right? Then we have organizational change. So organizational change, when we are talking about, it's not about only changing the hierarchy, like this is the manager, this is the CEO, this is that, right? It's not about the hierarchical change. Rather, the different changes related to like either you are removing some of the roles by doing some of the things automated. Like there were two developers who are working on creating some scripts, right? Now you have removed those resources and instead replaced by some automated scripts that is playing that role, right? There could be like you are started exposing a lot of information so that you reduce the dependency of the resources on some of other resources. Like if you started like you have created some glossary where you have put all the information related, and where if anyone is um, you know uh, finding it difficulty or anyone is stuck somewhere, they can simply go through the glossary and find out those terminologies and steps and data flows and all. So to reduce the dependency on another resource, you are doing some changes there, right? You are adding some more information, you are making the other people aware of, so that reduce the dependency and that boost the performance, right? Then we have reduced complexity of interfaces. So reduce complexity of interfaces, assume in this way that you want to search something, like you want to search for how to pass the CMAP exam, right? And one of the website comes there. You want to get that information, but that website is first telling you, okay, register here. So you try to sign up, you put your details, it takes around 10 minutes for you to register there. Then you finally reach on our website, and there you find a lot of menus there. You are very confused where you have to go. Then you finally found the search box, there you find where you wrote how to pass the exam. Then finally it give you something, but that information is not what exactly you are looking for. So it almost take a lot of your time, lot of the steps, and finally you ends up with nothing, right? So for the website, what would be the good thing? For the website, the good thing would be they have published all the information what they are dealing in upfront, and then once you see, okay, that content is you of your interest, then only you get into the sign up and go and search for that. So to reduce the complexity, take another example. Let's say you have ordered Amazon. The Amazon ordered a product from Amazon. Amazon has couriered that product to you, but it's not committed that how much days it will take to you. Let's say they are using any third party services to courier services, they have given it, but you need that product within 3 or 4 days. Is that committed? No, it's not committed. So because something is out of the control of the Amazon, because that's a third party service. Rather, it would be good that Amazon do their in-house courier service, and then they have a control and influence on that courier service that they can manage, right? So they can have a guarantee there that their product will be delivered to you within 1 or 2 days, just like the Prime services, right? So it's like to reduce the complexity to realize more value from the solution. Then another recommendation would be eliminate the redundancy. Suppose there are two organization A, organization B. The organization A is using the ERP solution 1 and organization B is using ERP solution 2, where both the solution performing all the steps, the similar steps, all similar functionalities, similar features, right? So so it's better that both the organizations should use the solution 1 rather than one solution 1 and solution 2, so to reduce or eliminate the redundancy. Then avoid waste. If avoid waste is something that is not performing at par, it's better to close that stuff. Um, Even if you heard about the lean methodology, that is actually the example that where they are focusing on avoiding or reducing gradually the waste out of the system and improve the functionality, improve the productivity as in a continuous iterations, right? Then we have identify additional capabilities. So in order to find additional capabilities, let's talk about the Amazon again. Amazon first started with the books, selling of the books. Then Amazon opened their own e-commerce portal, and then they started, listing different products and brands. Then Amazon get into the Amazon Web Services and IT infrastructure. Then Amazon get into the Amazon Prime. So what would be the additional capability for Amazon to tap on? It will it be a mobile device? Of course not that, because that's not directly related to the Amazon. Had it be like they are tapping a market where they can open their own big institute where they will give degrees and the certification to the students, or where they will teach the students about the technologies and leverage that uh, whatever infra, whatever information they have with the uh, students. So that's the market where they can tap. So that's identify additional capabilities. Retire the solution. In what cases you retire the solution? So we retire the solution when the service support has over. Suppose you were working earlier with Windows 8. Now the Microsoft has said like, okay, from that and that date or with effect from 2020, 13 or 14, the service support for the Windows 8 will be stopped. So that would go obsolete. So there is a mandate. Sooner or later, you have to move to the upgraded version, which would be Windows 10, 12, right? So that's like how you retire the solution. And it could be possible the reason for retiring the solution is because there are a lot of efforts you have to put on the old technology, on old features to debug, to so it's better they have upgraded the solution, and then uh, uh, people can move to the new technology. Then some additional factors that may impact the decision regarding the replacement or retirement of a solution, and that could include ongoing cost versus the initial investment. So what is that ongoing cost? So let's say you are using the Microsoft Excel, and you are paying the maintenance cost, you are paying the license cost, you are paying the service cost, and then you are paying the additional whatever the resources are working on those. So you are paying a lot of cost, right? And over the period of time, when you have calculated, okay, in the next 5 years, that much cost you will be paying to that. Rather, it would be good if you build your own solution, okay, that is very customized as per you. With a limited feature, you don't need a lot of features from Microsoft because that's a complete package. You just want 2 3 feature out of that Excel. It's better to build your own solution for that, right? And you have seen like, okay, the first investment is 10 50%, but over the period of time when you calculate, you say there is a deep uh, you know uh, drop in the this service maintenance license. So there is no license associated, there is no service required, there's no maintenance. So the initial investment would be high, but over the period of time uh, that would find to be a value realized. Then we have opportunity cost. So what is opportunity cost? If you tap some market which is just like in a case of the Amazon, identify additional capabilities, where I suggested to like Amazon is building their own institutes, right? So let's say that's a market to tap. So that could be one of the opportunity cost. Uh, then we have necessity. Necessity is something like an example that you were using the Windows 8, but Microsoft has said like from 2013 or 14, the Windows 8 would be the out of support. So there is a necessity that you have to move to the new upgraded version, right? So that's a necessity. What is the sunk cost? Sunk cost is like you have spent a lot of money in building some solution. A lot of effort and money has been gone into that, right? But uh, then you find, oh, that's not actually working, we have to move to other solution. But since there are a lot of money and efforts is being already gone, right? So you are not mentally prepared to move to the new solution. So that's how is a sunk cost related, right? So it's a little bit related to like, oh, that much money is, so I don't want to go, I want to use this because that money has been. But in the longer run, or from the logical perspective, if you see, you will find, oh, that solution is weird, the next new solution could be an alternative good way, right? So whatever money efforts been gone, that is the sunk cost. So now let's talk about the stakeholders. So the customer who actually purchasing, or the consumer of the solution. So we involve the customer and users who use the solution. User could be customer or people who work within the organization. The domain subject matter expert, they provide the input how the change or the solution or organization to increase the solution value. Will that work? Will that not work? How we can tweak that? What's the alternative? So all sort of things domain subject matter expert can tell you. The regulator, we consider regulator as well because it ensures the adherence to law whenever you are recommending any solution. And the sponsor, because whenever you are recommending any action or action, then the sponsor authorizes the funding for that action, right? So sponsor is important as part of the this activity as well. So now let's talk about the techniques. So we have data mining. It generates predictive estimates of solution performance. We have decision analysis, determine the impact of acting on any potential value or performance issues. Then we have financial analysis, assess the potential cost and benefits of a change. Focus groups, determine if solution performance measures need to be adjusted and used to identify potential opportunities to improve performance. Organizational modeling, demonstrate potential change within the organizational structure. Prioritization, identify relative value of different actions to improve solution performance. Process analysis, identify opportunities within related processes. Risk analysis and management, evaluate different outcomes under specific conditions. Survey or questionnaire, gather feedback from a wide variety of stakeholders to determine if value has been met or exceeded, if the matrices are still valid or relevant in the current context, and what actions might be taken to improve the solution. So that's it from my end. So now we have finally concluded all the knowledge areas here. And I hope you are finding my sessions or these videos helpful for your preparation for ECBS, ECBA and CBAP examinations, certifications. And from here, I'll take a couple of weeks a break. After that, we'll jump into the techniques. But before that, if you want to get any further explanation on any of the topic, please feel free to put those topics or those statements down there in a comment. I will love to read those and will create a separate videos on those. And what else? Thanks for your support, since you people are supporting me, and that's why that's the inspiration for and motivation for me to create such videos. And we'll see you soon. Till then, take care and goodbye.